now we am boy.
How you doing? How you doing, guys? Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. Sometimes as a YouTuber, right, it's quite interesting. You either think, okay, should I go live before the Champions League, or should I go live after all the Champions League games? But apart from you being a YouTuber, you also have got a life. So you think, look, if I go live at night, I don't have time to do stuff. So if I go live early, I'm going people will be watching the early matches. So when am I gonna do this review? So you know what? I was like, nah, look, none of the teams playing are my teams. Yesterday City played, so I don't really care if Napoli or Ajax or whatever team are playing right now. I'll just do the review now. Then I can watch the other games. I can sit down and do this. So welcome to the show, guys. Big up to you now. How you doing now? Big up to you. Welcome to the show, guys. So this is the review to the Man City versus Copenhagen, which was played yesterday. It finished 0-0. Um, the game started okay. Look, from the lineup, we knew that Pep was resting a few players. He was resting Highland for Sunday. Bernardo Silva was on the bench. Foden was on the bench. So obviously he was preparing the team for Sunday, but he wanted to get this done because he had big guns like Gundogan. He had people like De Bruyne on the pitch. Welcome to the show, Daniel. How you doing? Big up to you. Big up to you and I. He had a few players that were like the big guns on the pitch, but you could tell from the lineup he wanted to get things sorted. So we had an early goal in the match. Rodri scored, but unfortunately, VAR chopped off the goal. It was an amazing goal, beautiful goal by Rodri, but VAR chopped the goal because they said there was a handball between before for Mares, which, by the way, is quite funny because the handball, looking at it right now, it doesn't look like it was done purposely. It was like an accidental handball, and according to the rules, apparently, accidental handballs these days will not be regarded as a handball when somebody scores the goal. So, guys, look, let me just get into the match. It's not going to be long. It's just going to take a few minutes. I'm not going to do a long video. The match was not exciting. There was nothing exciting in the match. We went down to 10 men because Gomez brought down his man when the man went on the wrong side of him. Gomez on the wrong side of the player. Gomez went back. Now, what I want to tell to people as I'm doing this reaction to the match, guys, when players are new to the team, let's say for instance Gomez, everybody who's new, somebody young like Gomez, when he makes a mistake like that, don't start writing on Twitter or posting saying, "Yeah, get out of my club," or "This play is useless. I wish we could have bought a fallback that's experienced. How? Why did we buy this? Or Zinchenko has to come back." Don't, guys. Gomez has been good for the times he's played. He hasn't played full games. This was basically going to be his first full game. Things happen. These kids will learn. He's just 21 years old. He's going to learn from the mistake he did. Don't forget when Zinchenko started off as a left back at City, nobody wanted him. He was positioning himself the wrong way. He was losing balls. He was being attacked. The goals were always happening at his side. So even the same as Cancelo. So give Gomez time. Look, there was a red card. You were disappointed. You were pissed off because the game was ruined. But don't start blaming Gomez or blaming players, singling out players, saying, "Oh, if so and so did not do this, we could have won the game." Look, I'm happy with what happened, even after not the red card, but I'm saying I'm happy with the result, the outcome of the game. Because when you go down to 10 men in a hostile environment like Copenhagen, you could see the fans were buzzing. And a team that obviously this time I think they came with a different approach. They were playing a high line, they were pressing City very high. They were at home, so they were not going to sit back. They already lost 5-0. So I think they didn't care. They were like, you know what, we lost 5-0. City are the better team. We might as well play football. They've got a phenomenal, amazing keeper who was amazing again on the night. So, guys, City kept possession. We still played very well, even down to 10 men. Even though we didn't score, we still managed to defend and we still kept a clean sheet. So, at the end of the day, who was complaining? I'm not going to say much because it was a ball fest, let's be honest. because we were just doing damage control. We had to do that because if we didn't do that by shipping a goal or losing the game to Copenhagen, it could have been very difficult. So, guys, look, it was positive. Haaland was on the bench, which is great. He never went into the pitch. Foden came in late with Bernardo Silva. David Silva, De Bruyne. I said David Silva. Bernardo Silva. De Bruyne was rested. Gundogan was still playing. But it's a good thing, man, to look forward to the game Sunday instead of taking negatives out of the game. Few things that were positive from the game is Akanji is still a baller. Akanji is still playing very well. As I said at the beginning, I think Copenhagen were tactically set different. They were not sort of just sitting back. They only started sitting back later in the stages of the match, but before they were having a high line, pressing very high, putting Edison under pressure, putting the back line under pressure, and pressing and picking presses at very high good moments, which was great. So look, it was a game that wasn't exciting because there was no goals, but it was a game that was necessary. Man City were professional against Copenhagen yesterday, while we were down to 10 men, and I give the Man City team credit for doing that. I give them credit. I'm not going to criticize anybody. We are not robots. We don't have to always blow teams away. We can't manage. It's rare to see a team, no matter what quality, to go away to a place like Copenhagen, a packed stadium like that, with a hostile environment, with the fans down your neck, for you to go down to 10 men and then come with a win. It's rare. It happens. It's rare. Like, look at that. Let me give you an example. Juventus got beat by McAfee or whatever the name is 2-0. Madrid were losing until the 95th minute. Madrid were losing. So I don't know. For me, it was just professional, good football by City, controlling the game while you're down to 10 men. Better, how you doing, man? Hope you're well, man. Hope you're well.
I'm
Uh,
good. I'm good. Good to see you.
I'm good, man. I was just telling people that my thoughts on the match yesterday is I saw a lot of people were disappointed. They were singling players, pointing fingers. I just feel it's a bit unfair because Gomez is 21 years old. That was going to be his first 90 minutes under the belt uh, in a very big team. And yes, he made a mistake, but he will learn from that. Mares missed the penalty, but thinking about it today, like he's helped us before with pens in the past when people had no confidence to put them away. So I'll you have the mic, but all I'm saying is I enjoyed the performance because it was professional. The match was not exciting. It was boring, of course, because if the team like us, the big team, no offense to Copenhagen, the team that's more of a threat goes back to 10 men away, by the way, in a hostile environment like that. Of course, the match will become boring because excitement comes from the other team, us. The other team will try. All we're doing is controlling them. We're controlling them. So I don't know what your thoughts are because for me, I just see positive from yesterday that we go down to 10 men away and we still manage to do well. So what do you
Yeah.
think yourself?
No, you're 100% right. I mean, if it was a match where it was played 11v11 for the entire 90 minutes, yeah, I can understand fans being critical and not liking how the team performed. But once you put everything into context and once you take what happened and it was 10 versus 11, you accept it for what it is. I'm extremely proud of how the players played given those circumstances because they were they were a man down and were still controlling the match. They were a man down and still taking more shots and more shots on target than Copenhagen. Um, I'll be honest with you. I watched the entire match, but it was one of the worst matchups that I was actually expecting for the year. And this is Champions League. I mean, lower ranked opposition within the league, I would have been okay with. But this match, even the first leg, I know we slapped them up with many goals, but I wasn't looking forward to this. Yeah, I think it was kind of harsh with what Gomez did in terms of the decision making in the time. I think he did panic. He's young. He didn't want that one on one to happen against Ederson, and obviously pulled the player down. But
Yeah,
would he do it again? I don't believe so. Because again, he's a young player. He hasn't had many moments like this. I'm not going to kill him for it. We've had players a lot more senior than him that have had dangerous tackles or
yeah,
last ditch effort tackles, and it is
yeah,
what it is. He's going to find
yeah.
that balance in terms of getting away with it next time. But no, I'm not killing the players. I'm also not stressed. Like, guys, we can't be expecting to be perfect with every player against every opponent. Let our players grow and develop. I'm not killing Gomez.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's the other thing. There was a lot of people who were, I think, I don't know. You didn't say spoiled, but a lot of people who, yeah, yeah, you can say the word spoiled,
Yeah,
and
you
it's
can
not
say
trying to
spoiled.
be
Yeah,
offensive. Yeah, it's just I was surprised by people's uh like reaction. Yes, we're Man City, and I've seen us go down to 10 men before and actually played better and actually slapped a team. I think we did that to is it Wolves back in the days. I remember we went down to
yeah, I
10
believe
men and
so.
we did it. Yeah, Wolves, but that's the Wolves before the Nuno Espirito
Yeah,
Santo. There's the other Wolves. But it's rare for that to happen, guys, especially away.
yeah,
So don't be disappointed. I'm just happy we didn't get defeated because trust me, if it was a 1-0, it could have been a whole different story from the
yeah.
media and rival fans. So I took the nil, man. I took the nil.
And
Madrid. Madrid
yeah,
were 11
it's hard
v
to your
11 versus
point.
Shaka and they were losing 1-0 until the yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Also to your point, I think I didn't chime in on this, but the Mares miss, yeah, it hurt. It hurt. I was like, Mares, man, it's you're he's more expected to score than to have it saved. And the funny thing is, and I didn't clock it, but he'd had the penalty because obviously the way the matches play out, he'd obviously had a penalty against them on the first time and scored same side of the net. So in thinking back, I'm like, you know what, Mars, you should have been a lot more clinical with where you placed it. I don't think he wanted it in the middle to the left where he did kick it. I think he was probably going top bins for it. Um, so that's unfortunate. And then obviously the next string of events, but we're gonna need to rely on every player with this season, like for what's in the horizon, for how magical and special this season can be. We're gonna need everybody to come through. So Mars with this mistake, he's gonna fix up, and we got to go at it again. And the next match, I think even mathematically we obviously advance, but we want to be top of the group. So we're gonna fix up and be proper for the next match, which should be Dortmund, right?
Yeah, it's Dortmund away, I think so. What about yourself, Don? I think we can hear you now. What did you think of that match?
I think we were a bit too casual, right? From the start. It's one of those whereby you go in with the mindset we've already won this game. It's a formality. That kind of feeling, and that's even the kind of vibe I got from Mares. Even at times, and I think that's one of the criticism of Mares at times, that he lacks that intensity. It's as if, you know what, I'm good enough to do this, right? And then at the end of the day, football is still football. You need to give respect to your opponent, no matter how bad they are. Nothing is a foregone conclusion or script. Regarding the Gomez red card, I feel as if the next thing in Laporte's game, right, is learning how to control the back line, right? And this is something you see with Diaz, right? Whenever Diaz is playing, whether he's playing on the left or right, he will basically control the fullback, or give him
Yeah,
direction, position. Like, okay, there's someone behind or whatnot. That and Laporte normally, I don't know whether it's a lack of authority. Is that thing of whereby I'm worried about my game, right? So whereby he plays well defensively, but to be a leader in the backline, you need to actually control the whole backline and let people know when they're in possession. Same thing with, and you see normally your Van Dijks and Matip do this, where they tell, okay, it's fine. You see, for example, and Gomez being a young fullback, he needed
yeah,
that guidance,
yeah,
all right, of telling him not to panic. That, you know what, because hence being a fullback, you would know your attacker's strong foot, like his left foot is right footed, knowing that, okay, on the side he's going, he's most likely not going to shoot, he'll probably cross it, because then you might find out that the guy you tackled actually was on his weak foot, and the chances of him scoring are very low.
yeah,
So I feel as if Laporte could have assisted Gomez there. I'm not saying what Gomez done was right, but I'm just saying due to him being a young fullback, having Laporte's mentorship would have made his job easier. That's why normally, if you saw when Gomez was playing with Ake, Gomez was playing better, right? And that's one thing I was not. It's actually a point I was about to bring up. Seeing yesterday's payoff of Diaz and Laporte, would you argue that the Kanji Ake partnership has been better? We seem to be more in control when the two of them
Wait,
played.
what was the partnership yesterday again? Because I didn't pay so much.
I don't
A
agree
lot
with
got
that.
switched up.
I don't agree with that because they had a clean sheet yesterday. He had a clean sheet with 10 men. The problem of Gomez was not Laporte, it was Gomez. Right before the red card, I kept telling everyone on Twitter, I kept tweeting, Gomez has been poor, Gomez has been poor, Gomez has been poor. He's young, it's going to happen, right? He was poor all game. The other problem, right, and I've said this time and time again, you should not start Mahrez and Grealish in the same field. It never works. West Ham away last season, we almost lost the title because we started two bozos playing who can't run, who can't track.
Come on,
Right?
man, it's bozo. Come on, man.
He was a
Suarez
bozo.
is a bozo. I agree with
He's a
Carl.
bozo. He's a bozo. He's 31 years old. He's not a kid. He's 31. He's 31 years old. If Pep is coming out in the press conference and outing him like that, it's because Pep is annoyed with him. If Pep says you're physically not ready, that's an indictment on you as a professional. He's not a kid. He's not 21 years old. He's not 18. He's not Rico Lewis or Cole Palmer. He's 31. He's won the Premier League 4 times. It's bozo mentality.
I know, but Mahrez was our key agent to get Holland here. So let's take it easy on him a
Then
little bit.
he should play in the background. I agree with Carl. I
It's not-
agree with.
you know, my only problem with Mahrez, my problem with all these guys who are fiddling around is that we have better options, younger options on the bench who are hungry. If Paul Palmer has started the game yesterday, we score goals. If Paul Palmer takes that penalty, we score that penalty. I'm telling you. So that's my problem. You have a 31-year-old who's supposed to be one of the senior
Kopama
players.
was on the bench, wasn't he yesterday?
was on the
Yeah,
bench.
but that red card ensured that Pep didn't have the luxury of putting in the young guns. And to Carl's point, in a sense that at this point in time, Mahrez is actually like a luxury player, whereby when he's on the pitch, other people have to carry his weight.
Exactly. He's a luxury player right now because you think about it, we're 1-0 up, right? That game changes completely, right? The second is we all know what Mahrez is going to do. In the last game against Southampton, it took him 4 tries on goal to get a goal. 4. If not for Haaland, who's efficient, and for Foden, who's efficient, that's another game who had a false 9 system that would struggle against Southampton. The same thing happened last year. Bench him. Bring on Palmer. Bring on those kids. Why waste our time on a guy, a 31-year-old who's clearly not in the right headspace?
You made a promise though, Carl. You made a promise at the beginning of the season, and you've gone down on your promise. You said as long as Mahrez was the one who convinced Haaland to come here, you never say anything against him. And because
but
he
it's
promised us
frustrating though.
that he signed the contract, so are you on his neck now, Carl?
No, my problem is right now you have Cole Palmer on the bench. When Cole Palmer came against Southampton, he was better than Mahrez.
Yeah, he was. You're not lying, and
Yeah,
he was very brave.
So why are we? Why in a game like this against Copenhagen?
I think it's loyalty.
It's not a hot match. It's not a cold match. It's a nice lukewarm match where you can give Palmer a chance to show his credentials. And Palmer goes on, he balls. It's game over for Mahrez, and he's on the bench.
Patrick.
Loyalty, maybe.
Yeah, I think that. Go ahead.
Patrick. Yesterday, when I was watching the game, it felt like a typical false game last season, right? I think maybe we've been accustomed to Haaland starting, which gives us a completely new dimension to when we play, right? It was so predictable, right? If like it was, and I'm saying it felt like a typical game of last season whereby we don't know where the goal will come from, and people are just whereby you have De Bruyne trying to force things, and
can I say one thing? Can I say don't smoke? Since you've said it, can I just say one thing? And I don't know if you guys agree with me. Carl, Veta, and Don, if you're watching the game, Oh, if you rewatch it again, but it's too boring. But if you want to rewatch it as somebody who wants to analyze football, do you know that Alvarez made runs and none of the guys gave him the ball? He made those runs at that time. We were complaining about Haaland, saying Haaland is running and you're not giving. Alvarez had runs, and our team went back to research that you're right, as if their mentality
Of
was
course,
Haaland is not here, so we're not doing this anymore. Alvarez was making runs that Haaland
of
makes
course.
because the line was high, because Copenhagen was playing a high line. And even the announcer said, Copenhagen are playing a high line. The other guy was saying, Copenhagen are playing a high line. These guys, if they had Haaland or somebody running behind, then the other guy's like, yeah, but
The problem,
Alvarez has
Patrick,
made like 5 runs and nobody has passed him the
the
ball.
reason why
Yeah.
was once that red card was given, the game mode changed to contain, control, contain, right? Because now it's 10v11. So Alvarez now becomes a rabbit who runs around trying to press, and when he gets nothing because it's 4v1, contain, contain, control, contain. Let's get a point, get out of here, restart again against Dortmund. That was the mentality, and that's what you saw.
Patrick,
Yeah, go ahead.
you know, regarding what you said, I don't think it's as simple as that. I think the thing is this, right? Regarding Haaland's runs, right? When you're playing Foden or Grealish, right? They're gonna hold the width, right? Meaning that the fullbacks have to track them. So Haaland is normally playing against 2 or 3 players, which makes his run effective. Whereby with Mahrez and Grealish, they're all there. No one is trying to stretch the play. So when you run, if you saw most of the time, even the Brenner tried. Alvarez was always marked by 2 or 3 men, so those runs become pointless. That's the difference of having natural wingers and inverted wingers,
That's
meaning
what I
that
talk about all the time. Thank you very much,
you,
my
you,
software engineer friend.
you see the problem.
Talk about this all
You've
the
got
time.
you don't smoke. You've got number 1 in Carl's book. Yeah, Vete, you're about to say something.
Right,
Vete, you're
Vete.
about to say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it goes back to what Smoke was saying earlier. There was a level of a little nonchalant, too casual approach to this game. I mean, we've mentioned this before, and Carl attests to this. When we see Grealish and we see Mahrez, immediately we got like caution, red flags coming up. And then in terms of a combo, when we do have Gundogan and KDB, if that's going to be the pace within the midfield, we do want more aggressive up front, and we didn't have that. So I thought
True.
that already kind of put things. We're probably looking to just be in control of this match, and it's gonna be business as usual, but not an all out express ourselves and be forceful with the match. The red card did hurt us, but I think unfortunately once that happened, we weren't going to see an opportunity for the best side of us in terms of like how we would necessarily dictate play because everyone looked to be a little more guarded. And I don't know if that's instructions from Pep. I don't know if that's the players themselves being like, let's not make this any worse. But I agree with you. Alvarez was making not only was he making runs to push that back line, but he was actually curling his runs. Like he was trying to have his teammates catch him and then run into space. And either they didn't trust themselves to lob it over and to give it to him, or they weren't looking for him, to your point, as they would have with Holland. So I thought it was unfortunate. I have no doubt. I know it didn't show up stat wise for Alvarez, but I have no doubt that he's got the skill set to be excellent within the system. That wasn't the match that was going to really showcase that. And the youngsters that we would want to get on the
I
pitch,
think 11v11 it does. I think 11v11
I agree.
he
I
does
agree.
something. Yeah, he does. But keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I also find that in a different situation, again, when Cole Palmer's come onto that pitch, whether he's been on the right or the left, he's there to express and dictate his ability on that match. And it's unavoidable. You can't mistake it because when he's on there, he's like, I'm going to express myself. I'm going to show why I'm quality because he is auditioning every time he's on that pitch. He's auditioning. To Carl's point, Mahrez is. I got my contract. I'm gonna work my way into it. You guys know that I'm nice when Champions League and the knockout stages come around. I just don't see the urgency right from him, whether it's not being fit, whether it's being a little too lax, but he's going to have to step up because
Step
there
up.
are other players that will take his spot.
Well, one thing I liked about the man, what the manager did is like who he hooked him. Red card came up. Who are we going to hook? Mahrez. Good. Get him off the field. Right? Completely hooked him.
Because he's
And
not
then
gonna do the
unfortunately
leg
for
work.
Alvarez,
He's not gonna do the leg
we're not
work.
we're now played up. He's not going to do exactly. He won't do the legwork required to keep that tight. and then we changed to a 4-4-1. That's what we did. So all of a sudden, you have Alvarez versus 4 defenders. What's he gonna do? And he's running around the whole place trying to press, and they're trying to control the game. So it's basically the fall guy for the whole team yesterday, you know. And then let's not talk about UEFA referees. They're poor, man. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
watched the Chelsea game. I just watched another game here. I'm watching Napoli game. I watched the City game. The UEFA referees are worse than the Premier League referees, man. They're terrible. The law is
Yeah, can
very
I
clear.
answer this?
That was
Let me answer
never a
this, Carl.
deliberate handball. It should have been a goal.
Yeah, I saw a video. Even it's been I've said. Let me answer this. Twisted. Welcome guys. Twisted, Jesse, Daniel, Kane, Nayo Kane. Now I haven't seen you in a long time, but big up to you, Daniel. Big up to you, Jesse. Says good evening and afternoon, fellas. Good evening to you, guys. Am I the one freezing or it's Veta freezing?
I think
it's
it's
actually
you.
you.
Whoa, Patrick.
It's me freezing.
It's never me.
Yes.
It's never me.
Yeah, I think it's you.
I
I
might
think
be
you're
freezing
fine
because
now. You're fine.
It, it, it-
yeah, I moved away. I moved away from the TV room. I just wanted to do something fast. So anyway, the question is, are you guys upset that you never won? No, we're not upset, Twisted.
No.
It was a draw game, and it's nothing to be upset about. To be honest, it was a nothing game at the end. Yes, we closed in it. Could have been great, but we've qualified already. According to the mathematics, apparently we've qualified. They've already started. UEFA's already written that City have qualified. We're just looking for number one right now. So we're not upset, man. We're down to 10 men, and we did well. Let me just see this. I think he's talking about Gomez. People were way too harsh on the kid. Yeah, I saw some of the tweets. I didn't like them, especially they bring back Zinchenko, as if Zinchenko during
Well,
his
this
first
is
Really?
season was
I
not
did
on the
not
team.
see
if
that.
I
That's
may
crazy.
if I may just this is why I got mad with Martin, right? Because this kid is the argument was, oh, we didn't get a left back. We got a left back, right?
yes.
We just got a guy he's a young guy and he's learning his trade, right? So this idea of, oh, we didn't get a left back is BS. We got a left back. We didn't get the left back that you all wanted, Cucurella, for 60 million because we didn't think it was valued at that amount. But we have a left back. He made a mistake. He will learn. Tell me one player in world football. Van Dijk has been making colossal mistakes. Trent Alexander-Arnold, massive mistakes. Vincent Company made plenty of mistakes, useless mistakes. Company, right?
Yes.
Fernandinho, Jesus, how many mistakes did he make? Right? So let's just get things straight, right? Kid is young. He will learn from it.
Yeah, regarding Gomez, one thing you must understand at that age, you want to impress as well, right? Especially as a defender, right? And we always talk about trends whereby fullback or not, your first job is to defend, and to know that the goal came from your flank, that don't boost your confidence. So hence I'm saying it's just he's still young, he's gonna learn, right? Just a lack of awareness and whatnot. Give it time. Cancelo had a similar done a similar mistake against I think Crystal Palace when he went 10 men down, whereby he pulled one of Palace's last defense. This thing happens, man. It's just
And
to
let's not
learn
forget,
and move on.
Smoke, let's not forget, right? This guy has been asked to play two roles. That's taken some Cancelo 3 years to learn,
Exactly.
right?
Mm,
Play as a fullback, but also play as an inverted fullback. And
yes.
deciding when to go and when to stay is something you learn over time. And you learn with game time. So the first thing that comes out of people's mouth is, oh, we don't have a left back, or he's terrible. You all have agenda. That's agenda FC, right? And
Exactly.
you're not being true to yourself, right? Here's a kid who's learning his trade and learning to play both sides of the game, inverted fullback and natural fullback. It takes time. There will be mistakes. Kyle Walker till today made mistakes against Liverpool last year. He made the same
Yeah.
mistake against Mane. Mane got
Leipzig,
in.
Leipzig. He got the red.
Leipzig. Kyle Walker's 32, right?
Exactly.
Makes a mistake against Leipzig. Where's the anger? John Stones, how many mistakes has he made? Calm
True.
down. Let this agenda not run. We don't have a
There's a
left back
comment
not
for
run.
you here, Carl. Carl, there's a comment for you. He says one of your speakers talking about Nice to be benched, yet he was the only one who gave us a goal in the semi fight against
Oh,
Madrid.
that was 2
Two
years
things.
ago. We
So,
don't care. That was 2 years ago. That was 2 years
Yes.
ago. We don't care. We don't live on the past.
okay, bad
We think about
decision
the
from
future.
Gomez if you've got VR these days, but only idiots who throw him under the bus. That's true. Wolves beat us 3-2 when we went down to 10 men. We were one. We were one up before sending off, and then
Exactly.
went 2-0 ahead before collapsing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that time was,
Exactly.
yeah, 100% Carl. Yeah, Ali, how you doing, man? I hope you're well. Did Pep make a mistake playing Gomez? No, it wasn't a mistake at all. Gomez will learn. Let's back our players. Yeah, that's true. You can be caught on the wrong side, but you shouldn't hold onto the opponent. It can only result in setting off. Yeah, that's true. But he will learn. He will learn. He will learn. Guys, that's the video. You guys came late in the comments. I'm sorry. I'm not going to stay. The guys in the comments. I
You
know
should
sometimes
stay.
they say,
You should stay. You should allow
no,
them to.
no, no. It's not happening. I came from work. I did a video. I was saying, should I leave this Copenhagen thing? It's boring. I was like, nah. Let me get back to my roots where when I do reactions and I do previews. I'll do the preview. Let me give you a good one. I'll give you a preview. I've already done a trailer for you guys for the
That
Liverpool
trailer's
versus City.
fire. That
I
trailer is
know, I
fire.
know.
Make sure you check it out.
Cow was triggered because I said, "Are you ready for war?"
It's
Why
not
he
war.
doesn't know the message for me is a beating.
Yeah,
I
but
wrote at first I
it's
wrote,
not.
"Are you ready for a beating?" Go ahead.
My point is that it's not war because one is in second, one is in 10th place. How can that be war?
Oh
It,
wow.
It's not war now.
I've been just
Oh
seeing where
damn.
some big country takes advantage of a small country, and you're like, this is unfair. Or some big fighter fights
Listen,
somebody who you know
win,
they're gonna
lose or draw. See, my point is that win, lose or draw. We don't. It's football. Anything can happen, right? But the reality is, on any given day, I mean, with all the injuries that they have, is that really war? It's
Mm.
Funny enough, before we go off, right, I was looking at one meme that said that Pep was so bored, he created a coach, gave him some of his own players to challenge himself.
And Arteta and Jesus
Yeah, that's
and
true.
and Zinchenko. That's hilarious.
Yeah, mine should have
hasn't
been
Zinchenko
more
been injured,
clinical.
Patrick? Hasn't he been injured since Zinchenko?
Oh, Zinchenko, yeah, he's been on the sideline. Something which is interesting because at City he never got injured that much. It was injury, but not this much. Maybe he's that type of player when he plays. Maybe we never knew because he never played much. Maris should be more clinical. That's true. Pep has a poor record when he goes down 10 men. That's true, guys. Even though you might, guys, that's true. I've actually looked back at it. When 10 Pep goes to 10 men, it's rare that he comes out with the dub. But anyway, I like that's why I liked the clean sheet yesterday.
But
Come on,
it but
Chico.
is but hold on. Isn't that one of those like stat that every manager has when you're down 10 men? They can't have a good winning record.
No, some managers. What I think he's trying to say, some managers when they go 10 men, they do like what they did yesterday, where they just take the draw. It just becomes a draw.
Okay,
But
gotcha.
but if you look back properly, Pep, I think it's the system we play because our system. But it's also a system that when he wants, because the thing about Pep is he's a winner, right? Unlike other coaches, this is the first time yesterday. I think guys, you agree with me, where you can see Pep was trying to keep the ball and just keep the game at nil. He didn't want to attack,
No,
but
I
I
mean,
have seen
funny
him.
enough, Patrick, we had chances to score.
Yeah, we did. That's the thing. But I'm saying you notice that in the past, even other games,
Yes,
if you look at Barcelona, even when Pep is down to 10 men, he doesn't care. He still finds a strategy to try to score. So, but
yes, he's
anyway,
less naive now.
big up. Yeah.
Pep has
So
learned.
fans service, this is no way to treat us. Yeah, you can cry more, Jesse. The party is starting and the host leaves. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Twisted. We will all get him back later. Then there's a comment here. Party going for dinner. Now, man, I just came from work and I actually wrote a message to Carl. If you saw in the group, I said I was supposed to do a stream at 7. I thought I was going to leave work early, but I left late, and now I'm walking home, and my stream is at 7. So, guys, look, unfortunately, for now, I'll go, but there's a lot of content coming, a lot of stuff coming, isn't it, Carl? Champions League. I don't know if Carl is going to do Champions League reviews. I don't know if Veta is going to do a new video. There's a lot of content from all three of us. We always have content coming, but Saturday, as Veta says, the trailer is out. Go watch it on Twitter. The trailer is out Friday. We are going to try dig up some Liverpool fans. I have a Liverpool fan friends who have got me to the channel. This time, Carl, we're gonna dig them up and bring them over here and try get them on the panel so they can respond, basically. So, guys, do you have anything else to say before we go?
Yeah, for me, I'm just the refereeing standard in the UEFA for me is it's just terrible, man. I mean, these guys are. It's like these guys are trying to kill the game. It's like let the game flow, brother. Come on, man. Let's see good goal. Let's see. Every goal is taken away. It's ruining the game. I don't know, man. It's just
Yeah.
This is a good comment. That if Pep wanted to win the game, yeah, you're right. I think if the game was that important, saying we need it, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Haaland on the pitch. You know, he was gonna bring in Haaland and
Yeah,
bring
true.
in all the other
Yeah.
big guns and
That's true.
actually try to create chances. But
Mhm.
look, it was worth keeping Haaland on the bench. 10 men equals shut up shop. Pep's game is all about overloads. Yeah, you're right about that. Pep's system needs 11 players on the pitch. Yeah, because of balance.
I
Yeah, so
agree.
guys, that's it, guys.
I absolutely agree because I think to Ray's point there, what I noticed in the game was that because we had one less man, the system didn't work. So there was a pass that Gundogan gives, right, which Gomez should have actually received as an inverted fullback. It goes to the opposition player because they're all programmed to play a certain way and be in certain positions. When one guy goes off, the whole thing breaks apart, which is why they said 0-0, we move. Really, really good.
Yeah,
comment.
look at this man, Ray. He's just guessed exactly what I'm going to eat. He said it in my language. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. I'm actually going for that. So guys, that's it. Thank you very much, guys. There's about 10 people right now watching. I know it's quite funny. It says 10 people. You find there was about 100 people watching. So guys, like the vid, and subscribe to Veda Games. Veda, you can do your little Veda thing, your little Veda graphic, so people can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Better Games, and you can see Pitch Points. That's Carl's channel. Subscribe to that, guys. You can go follow Don't Smoke on Twitter if you want to see agendas. Don't Smoke is a specialist on agendas. You can also follow me on Twitter if you want to see drawing and if you want to see agendas. But anyway, guys, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, we're going to see you possibly on Friday. I think Friday is when we're gonna see you, unless one of the guys has got a show and we're all free to do it. So, guys, that's